Welcome to the Lean Body Mind Podcast. My name is Steve, and I will be your host and companion for the next 15 or 20 minutes while we enjoy our favorite breakfast beverage, assuming you're watching this around breakfast time. I've got a nice steaming tumbler of green tea right here, and the reason it's steaming is the same reason I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt at the moment. It's 55 degrees this morning. Autumn comes rapidly in Wisconsin. It seems like there's not a lot of days where you're not running the air conditioner and or the furnace. So hopefully we'll have sort of a lengthy, mild autumn. It seems like very often winter really catches us off guard, especially in terms of getting the whole garden taken out. You know, it's one day it's 70, 80 degrees, the next day we have frost. So really need to be paying attention to the weather report and extended forecast and making sure that if it's going to frost, that I do a very, very quick pepper and tomato harvest. You may have also noticed that this week is just a single video week here on Lean Body Mind. So the Labor Day holiday, that's part of it. I wound up shifting the Serious Keto Podcast to Tuesday, and my whole sort of shooting schedule got a little bit screwed up with the holiday weekend. I was gonna do a kitchen hack sort of video based in lean and a thing called total productive maintenance, which in lean manufacturing just basically means that your machinery is running in tip-top shape, everything's calibrated and clean, and I was going to do that on my stove. So going through the process of calibrating the internal temperature, which I did a video for on Serious Keto, but also leveling your stove, and then taking apart the front door of your oven, because mine it was pretty much impossible to see through the window anymore at what was in the oven, and I completely disassembled it. It just looks amazing now. But as I was doing this process, I just realized that from manufacturer to manufacturer, there's going to be a lot of differences between ovens, and I felt between that and I didn't know if it was going to be something that would be especially popular. But maybe at some point I'll do that again in the future, just sort of the checklist. If you want to make sure your oven and stove are running tip-top, here's what to do. But the short version is I didn't record that video. So one video this week, this is it, you're watching it. Why don't I talk about some of the videos that are coming up though, just so you know what to look forward to. And a lot of these are things that I have recorded footage on. So my review of earthing, and I've mentioned this at least in the comments, the problem with that is I have so much material and some of it was rather poorly filmed, like the unboxing. The unboxing just goes on forever. And it's going to be a big task to kind of edit that, especially for something that I can't definitively say that I'm feeling. So that's the delay on that. Then there's the Stealth Core Board. This is that balance board that you do planks on, and you put your phone on this little receptacle and then you play games. That I'd filmed a bunch of footage for. I'd filmed the unboxing, and I'd filmed showing a lot of the premium games that you can pay for. But the camera was kind of out of focus. Basically, most of the game stuff needs to be reshot, and I really need to do this as a 30-day challenge. Since this month I'm already doing the Supernatural VR fitness app, that kind of pushes, let's see. Yeah, the soonest I would wind up doing that is for the month of October. So that's in the works. I also started a brief little explainer video. It's actually more of a PowerPoint presentation. Let's call it what it is, because it's not animated at the moment. It's just some PowerPoint slides that I narrate. But it's an intro to Six Sigma at a very basic level, just so people can understand the methodology. And then later on, if I use terms that come out of the Six Sigma world, you'll know what I'm talking about. For the most part, though, Six Sigma isn't the sort of thing that you're going to apply to your day-to-day life at home. It's really designed more for projects, and especially large-scale, lots of data type of projects that are producing either good product or defective product. I have most of the video shot for a cleaning hack that I'm going to show. So this is a product that it's got some specific uses in terms of cleaning, but its uses aren't going to leave you like wheezing, like using some of these commercial cleaning products. So that should be coming fairly soon. And then after that, I'll probably do a intro to lean. So at a very basic level, what is lean, what isn't lean, where you might have heard some misconceptions about lean, why are some people opposed to lean in the workplace, things like that. Once I have that out of the way, then I can start getting into some of these shorter form videos where I take a specific lean topic, like visual management, for example. We already used visual management to create our meal planning board in the video that I'll link to right up there. But looking at all the potential visual management aspects, I see that as being a lot of videos. Of course, I talked about TPM. We'll probably do something on 5S, which is how do you sort and set in order the things that you use in your day-to-day life. It's a system for that. And I'm sure lean will lend itself to all kinds of short form videos and little life hacks, household hacks, cleaning hacks, you name it. So all that's coming, and I just ask for and appreciate your patience because this is quite a challenge running two YouTube channels at the same time. One of the topics that I was going to cover last week but didn't for two reasons. One, the podcast was already pretty much at length, but also it was for the app Headspace. It's a meditation app that's available on your mobile device. And since we'd already talked about meditation for fidgety skeptics, I felt maybe we're getting a little bit meditation heavy in that episode. So one of the things that I promised is that I will be going through a number of different meditation apps and giving you my opinion on them. Are they worth the money? What features do they have? What are the pros? What are the cons? I want to make sure that I use each one for a minimum of 30 days before I give you my feedback on it. It's been about 2.5 years that I've been using Headspace, so I think I can speak to that pretty well. Headspace is a very comprehensive meditation app. So for starters, you get the first 10 classes or sessions free, which is the intro to meditation. There are so many different individual meditations and courses that go anywhere from 10 to 30 meditations. And they all build on each other very well. So that's one of the first things that I really like about this, just the incredible breadth of meditations that you can do depending on what's going on in your life. Do you want to be more productive? Do you want to manage stress? Or do you have issues with sadness? Things like that. And it's really, really comprehensive, I think is what I'm saying. The app itself is broken down into 5 main categories. The first of which is a today category, which I haven't done because it's almost a little bit too much activity for me, just spread throughout the day. Maybe I should give it a try. But it starts off, here we go, starting our day, 60 seconds of mindful breathing, then 5 to 7 minutes of how to practice loving kindness, then 5 to 20 minutes of self and other, then 10 to 20 minutes of managing anxiety. Then we get into afternoon. And it's a little bit of a move exercise with Kevin Hart. And then at night, there's a sleep cast called Cabin Porch, which is just noises that you would hear, like a rocking chair on a porch or something, and hearing the noises of animals at night. To me, this almost starts to feel like work if I've got to do all of these different things during the day. But if you are looking for something to sort of manage your day and to give you breaks throughout the day to practice mindfulness, you might like this. Then we get into the meditation section itself. And as I said, there are courses, there are singles, there's what they call an SOS. So when you need some help immediately, something is super stressing you out or you're super sad, you need something right now. Then there's timers and group meditations. As you get into sleep, there's things like sleep casts, which is basically a storytelling. I've talked about doing this perhaps for myself for this channel, and if I do that, it's probably going to be a channel premium. It would be something I would do for channel members because I wouldn't want ads in them. There are some calming nighttime meditations, there's sleep music, there are sleep sounds like white noise or rainfall or a babbling brook, things like that. The next category is the one that I really feel is out of place in this app, and it's called Move. It's got like little exercises and cardio things that you do or stretching throughout the day. It feels to me like maybe that's a little bit shoehorned in here. And then finally, there is a category called Focus, which tends to be mostly breathing exercises. And I noticed that all of the breathing exercises seem to be the box method. So a 4-second inhale, 4-second hold, 4-second exhale, 4-second pause. And you go through that like 5 times. Just to different animations. Again, it feels like they could do something more with breathing than just that. It would be neat if they partnered up with the author of Breath and looked at some of those breathing exercises in that book and put those in here, so it's a guided thing. Another thing that I really, really like about Headspace is for every one of the meditations, it seems that there are 2 or 3 different narrators. They're all British, and they've got a very soothing British accent. It's not harsh, it's a very relaxing, I don't know what I would compare it to, but I can tell you that I really, really enjoy Andy as one of the guiders. Would you call that guides? Guides, not guiders, but one of the guides through the meditations. Again, his accent, very, very cool, but you can almost hear him smiling as he's talking. You can hear that in his voice, and it makes me feel good to listen to. There are also 2 women that do meditations. I've listened to ones by Eve, and those are really good. I like her on the anxiety video just because she's got such a calming, almost motherly love sort of voice. So I enjoy that. One other thing that the Headspace app offers that I really enjoy are these short little animated videos that help anchor some of the concepts for you. For example, one of the concepts they talk about often is blue sky. So the blue sky is always up there. We can see it today, but some days it's cloudy. That doesn't mean the blue sky isn't still up there. We just have to get past the clouds. So concepts like that then they will refer to later on as they're guiding you through meditation. Very helpful. Really neat sort of mental picture, sort of anchor type of a system. In terms of pricing, Headspace is $70 per year. However, the first year is $42. I don't know if you try and cancel, if they'll give you a good rate again. The one thing that kind of irritates me about it is you need to manage your account through the Headspace website. You can't do it directly from the app. That to me is always sort of an irritant when it comes to any sort of an app. I want to be able to manage it within subscriptions on my iPhone, but can't do that. So in my opinion, Headspace is an excellent app. It's a very, very easy recommendation to someone who wants to start getting into meditation. It really eases you in, and then there is just an absolute abundance of different meditations that you can do depending on your mood, depending on your goals. Now, after having it for about 2.5 years, I feel I've gotten probably as much as I can get out of it. I'm due to expire this particular subscription in December, and I probably won't renew. That's not a function of the app. That's a function of me having been on this app for 3 years, and like I said, I feel like I've milked it for about all it's worth. The final topic on this podcast is a book review. Weightlifting is a waste of time. And under that it says, So is cardio, and there's a better way to have the body you want. This is by Dr. John Jaquish. I really have mixed feelings about this book, starting with the rather clickbaity title. He's not saying strength training is a waste of time. What he's saying is push an iron around is a waste of time, that there's a better way to do it. And that better way is band training. And not just any band training, and by that I don't mean playing an instrument, I mean like these stretchy type bands, specifically the X3 system that John Jaquish developed and is selling. If the purpose of your book is to pimp a product that you're selling on your own website for $550 before any sort of a coupon code, this book ought to be free. The first 5 chapters are basically Jaquish explaining everything that's wrong with weightlifting and why the whole X3 system is so much better, how it's constructed, success stories, etc. And I found myself ripping pretty fast through that first, I don't know, how long was that? 100 plus pages? Yeah, 112 pages. I hit a point where I was just numb. I was numb to him just talking about how great X3 is. But then I got to chapter 6, and that made this book worthwhile to me. Chapter 6 is called Optimizing Nutrition, and he really gets into the ketogenic lifestyle and even carnivore. He talks about fasting, intermittent fasting versus extended fasting. It is a very, very well put together chapter, and the sort of thing that I wish was just a separate book for $1 that then you could just mail to anybody that's wondering about keto or carnivore or fasting or anything like that. It's really, really a great, great chapter. Chapter 7, almost as good. It's all about various falsehoods of fitness that he gets in to address, talking about cardio versus body fat testing versus what's best for weight loss, muscle isolation exercises, testosterone. And I think he does a pretty effective job at dismantling a lot of these myths that exist in the health and fitness community, probably largely driven by magazines that are trying to sell, health products, fitness systems, regimens, etc. Then the book really closes with his whole exercise protocol, what he does, what he recommends. Anyhow, as I'm reading through it, I'm almost bought in. I'm almost bought in to trying out the X3 system, except for the price. Like I said, $550 before any coupon code. I think he's always got some sort of a coupon code that takes it down to $450. But $450 is still kind of out of my range for a bar and a few bands and a base that you stand on. I don't know. I got a lot of stuff down in the basement that I'm going to be selling as part of a rummage sale soon, including like an old Bowflex. And who knows, maybe if I make enough money that it would cover purchasing this system, I would do it, try it out for 30 days and do a review of it. On the whole, though, the book, like I said, I wish there were a possibility to simply extract chapters 6 and 7 and sell that as its own book, because the rest of it is really just an advertisement for the X3 system. So unless you're really, really curious about X3 and resistance training with bands, this book probably, you could pass on it, or just see if they've got it in your local library. Read chapters 6 and 7. So I think that is going to be about the end of this podcast. Oh, the other thing that will be coming up that I forgot to mention is a review of the Ninja Creamy Ice Cream Maker. I'll likely do a video over on SeriousKeto that's more of a recipe video, or trying out like keto chow in the Ninja Creamy, but the actual product review I will probably put here, just because it's not specifically a keto thing, and it does make some lofty promises about making ice cream pretty much instantly. Well, we'll address that. But like I said, I think that's the end for this podcast for this morning. As always, I really appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me. I hope you enjoy it too. Thanks for watching.